help be a little bit more equipped. Dan, do you want to talk just a minute about partnerships?
Kelly mentioned that it's amazing the number of partners we brought in. It's really pretty interesting the way that works. When I make a phone call, make the introduction, and maybe send them a video or whatever, website link. I was just going to reiterate what Stacy said about dance therapy. I'm going to be trying to get some water dance therapy partners to buy in with us because I know that that is a very good therapeutic avenue for children with disabilities or adults with disabilities. The photographic team I wanted to give some additional information on. If you were at an event and you take some photographs with your iPhone or with your camera or what have you, feel free to go ahead and send me an email. I don't know if my email's on the website or not.
It's on the sheet.
Okay, good. Go ahead and send me an email or feel free to give me a phone call. And I will open up a folder that is called Event Photographers. And so I will send you that link to the event photographers, and then you can go ahead and upload your photos to that link, and it will go into Dropbox. And then I take those, and sometimes if I have the time, I go in and tweak the photographs, crop, whatever, adjust the lighting or whatever, and then put those on over into Ragan's Hope 2013 or 2014, this year being 2014. With the partners, we now have, and of course what we're waiting for, as Delia mentioned and as Stacy mentioned, we're looking for volunteers in these areas so that we can go ahead and have these hospitals. Some of them have already started referrals, and we've got a group, we've got a couple in Louisiana that is heading up the team there as it develops. But we've already got some referrals from Lafayette, Louisiana. And we're looking, I just made contact with, actually made an initial contact. When we met with Lafayette, they have a sister hospital in Alexandria, Louisiana. And so I mentioned to the staff there that it would be great if they could go ahead and make that introduction of Ragan's Hope to that hospital in Alexandria. It's Women's and Children's Hospital. And so what I did, I called Alexandria this last week and spoke with them briefly and sort of reminded them of the initial contact that Lafayette had made with them, and expressed our interest in making sure that we were going to start receiving referrals as we could get people into that area. I'm looking at Baton Rouge, and actually have a friend from LaPlace, Louisiana, that she has a lot of college contacts through LSU. And as you know, LSU is like, they're all over the world, and if you ever see an LSU grad, you're going to recognize them right away because they'll have a t-shirt or a handbag or something, LSU, So Tracy is that kind of promoter of LSU alumni. And so I just sent her an email this last week and asked her if she had any possible volunteers or organizations that we could connect with there for volunteers. A lot of the universities, they have fraternities that will volunteer, such as Baylor University in Waco. We've connected with them. They're one of our partners there, and they're really looking forward to working with us. So we're hoping we will get that same type of reception in Louisiana through LSU or some of the other organizations. If you are an alumni of a fraternity or a sorority member, as Stacy said, share that with your friends in those sororities or fraternities, because that's a very important contact to connect. I have also Since we are already connected with partners with Shriners Hospital here in Dallas, we are sort of roundabout connected through Night of Superstars, receiving nominations through Shriners Hospital there in St. Louis. But I did connect with them this last week as well to reiterate our interest in having a firm connection and partnership with them, and received an email just yesterday from the young lady there asking me to contact her next week when she had some time and she wanted to talk with me about Ragan's Hope. Also, that has opened up the door to Houston, Texas, and Galveston. So I have connected with Houston and Galveston, with Shriners Hospitals down there. I have connected with one of the hospitals in Nashville, Tennessee. They're somewhat reticent to connect with us because of legal aspects of their particular hospital policy. But right now I'm trying to navigate and work through that with the hospital there, the Children's Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee, because that's going to be a future site, hopefully, for Night of Superstars, and that's going to be an important connect for us.
Maybe you should send Cindy and I there as representatives.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Very good idea.
Once they meet us, how could they say no?
They can.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
Done deal.
Let's see. YWA in Austin. We are connected with, and they last year expressed a firm interest in helping with Ragan's Hope with volunteers, and so Stacy's got a meeting scheduled in Austin, and so we're hoping to set up a meeting with the president of Young Women's Association there in Austin to help us out with volunteers and different events. I believe that covers it all for the notes I made while I was listening to the various ones speak, that I get these little flags that come up in my mind. So again, anytime, feel free to connect with me by email or give me a phone call. And if you have organizations you feel like would be a viable partner for Ragan's Hope, I'll make sure that we move forward with that. Okay?
Okay, I'm going to introduce Greg Johnson, and I think we can show the video real quick. No, it's fine. I think it's just the one video, not the interview thing. But I wanted to just, before he starts it, we'll watch it first.
Talk after this video. You want to wait?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm watching a grown man cry.
The other video that we were going to show is blocked because we're in a school district and it's the news one, so online. Yeah. The school district, I don't know, they're not letting you get to certain websites. But anyway, what I really want to stress to you guys about Night of Superstars, and I'll let Greg tell you a little bit about the event and about goals for this year. But it has truly just been a great contribution to Ragan's Hope. It's allowing us to get into some markets that we're not in. It also allowed the superstars to start getting support, and so that's important. But what I want you guys just to realize is there's a place for you. There's a place for you to serve at the event, after the event. And so we don't want to keep this a separate piece of the puzzle. It is all one. It's an event of Ragan's Hope, and you all need to be, a part of that. And I think it's important. We've watched it kind of evolve over the last couple of years, and so I know in the past we haven't really called on you guys to serve, but I think it's time that you all, it is a big piece of our of our organization. So we want to make sure you guys are brought up to speed on it in terms of the goals. So you want to speak for a minute on?
Back in 2005, God gave me the vision to start Line of Superstars. I've been involved with community for many years, and I've seen kids like JC and even adults who are faced with varying types of disabling conditions, but are really reaching beyond those adversities and excelling in areas like academics, athletics. They're just living amazing lives. And these are kids that you look at, even adults that you look at and you go, wait a second, are you telling me you got all of this going on with you physically and or mentally, and you're doing all of these things? I mean, I've got all my capabilities except maybe up here, but it's real humbling to see what's going on with these kids, and again, even adults who are doing these things. When everything in our society says you shouldn't be able to do that. It's just amazing. It's very humbling. So I wanted to create an event to recognize these kids for the inspiration they are to us, of course. First couple of years, it was just all about the kids, lift up the kids. It's just awesome, They deserve it. We want to encourage them to continue down this path of success that they've already created for themselves. But now it's really kind of morphed. God really kind of popped me on the back of the head and said, you idiot, you're not getting it yet. The kids are part of it, obviously, of course. But as our crowds have grown, we're hopefully looking at we had close to 700 last year at the event. This year we're looking hopefully to get about 1,000 since we're getting a bigger start than just 3 or 4 months, because I kind of go, yeah, it's time to get going. It's 3 months out, and everybody's like, what? And, so we're hoping to have at least 1,000 at the event this year.
Are you talking about just Dallas?
Yeah, just Dallas event. Mm-hmm. We have, but where God's vision was going was, you got an audience, you got a stage, you got their attention. These kids are our carrots. I've been doing this for, I always get a little emotional. Quit videotaping. You're getting brighter with that. It's crying again. But anyway, I think the larger mission here is to reach out to these audiences and our guests and really show them this is how you do it. You always stand up here. I know. They handle their adversities. These kids are joyful and they're succeeding again when society says, yeah, you shouldn't be able to do this. We have our days. Many of us have more days than others. We might lose a business deal. That could rob us of our joy for even a month until you recoup that again. Car breaks down. You go home, you kick the dog. You're unpleasant to your spouse, your children, because it's all me, now. Wow, this pedestal isn't near big enough for the pity I'm feeling. I mean, it's really disgusting. The society's really turned inward. Even all the reality shows, their success because it's got to be drama, hate, me again, the me, no, oh, you're not going to disrespect me and I'm going to get you back, and all this crazy stuff. These kids are again our inspiration. Again, all these ticks. And again, how we should live our lives and face our adversity. If you're having a bad day, reach out to someone.
Volunteer.
If you don't quit this, anyway, so that's the mission. That's the mission of the event. Yeah. And we all know why we always range this right after the video.
I know.
You're already emotional after watching that. I've been, we've been doing this for 13, 14, 15 events now. We started in 2005. We had a crowd. We were at the Studio Movie Grill. About 100 people and about 100 guests and about 12 kids. Wasn't supposed to be an annual event or even a fundraiser. It's just something we're going to do for the kids. Second year rolls around. I was thinking, wow, that was fun. We should do that again. So, of course, I called my same friends and said, we need to do this again. Everybody's asking me about it anyway, and they're going, great, when do you want to set it? I was thinking about 6 weeks. So, yeah, that's not true. Anyway, but we had a guest of about 250. We packed the theater. Had about 18 kids this time. Been in real estate. That was about the time the market tanked in 2007, because we did 05 and 06. 07, 08, 09. I had tabled the event. Again, it wasn't even supposed to be an annual event. So I just buried my head in real estate, and until that came out. Through those years, people were going, when are you going to do Night of Superstars again? You got to do it. And I said, it was about 2010, market had bounced back a little bit. I said, all right, I'm in a better place, let's do it. Of course, I said, if we're going to do this, let's do a Hollywood style. It's no more Studio Movie Grill. We'd outgrown that place anyway. So Windsor Opera House had just opened up. I said, let's do it there. That's Hollywood. That's doing it right. It was reception style, no dinners, no anything like that. But now we're adding little awards, and we're adding a little bit more to the event, and now we're getting celebrities to, local celebrities to come and escort the kids, and of course, we had 3 months to do that, because that's what I said, 3 months down the road instead. But anyway, so we raised a little bit of money, more than it cost. I thought, oh, well, that's cool. I didn't mean to do that, but so we just divided the $10,000 between the 4 charities that brought the kids, and in 2011 we brought, of course, we did it again on the stage that night. We had probably at least 350, 400 people there that night. Earl Toon from Cool and the Gang had made a cameo appearance, and I'm going, Cool and the Gang is on my stage. This is awesome. Going like this, oh yeah. And so I was so excited at the end of that event that I was on stage, and I told the crowd, good night, make sure y'all come to Fort Worth in September, because we're doing Night of Superstars there. Just out. I just vomited all over people. And I was really having an outer body experience, and this other body is going, shut up. We're going to Fort Worth, And sure enough, 4 months later, we were at the Omni. Kids are now getting complimentary hotel rooms for the night. The parents, it's just nuts. Scott Murray is our MC, and Scott Murray is the MC to have if you've been in the event business around here, or charity business for any length of time. So the event is growing. Again, we went into Fort Worth that December in 2011. I get a call from a couple in St. Louis. They wanted to host they heard about the event. They want to host it up there. And they have about the mindset I do. And I said, sure, I'll help you out. When do you want to do it? They said, we're thinking the end of February. And I said, 2013 or 2 months February from now? And they said, oh, we were thinking 2 months. I was like, well, I'm flattered. I make it look so easy. But I said, all right. Book me a flight and a hotel room. I'll come up there, have 10 people ready. I'll jam it down your throats, and we'll see if we can do it. Turns out they had the largest RE/MAX brokerage in the area with about 60 agents. I thought, well, if I can do this basically by myself in 4 months, I guess y'all can pull it off. And so they had 600 people at their first event. Now, we just went last week for their 3rd annual, which was awesome. Now, they've graduated from the reception style. Now they're doing full seated dinners, which is awesome. We've got this year, of course, we launched in East Texas, where we held it in Tyler. Large event. They got it off right with a seated dinner, and over 400 people. So that was their first event. So that's because we're getting our formula down a little bit better. And this year we're hoping to launch in San Antonio and Nashville. Oh, there you are. Speaking of which, we're probably going to go in March. Oh, you might want to know that. So that's what they have to deal with.
Yes.
But we've got a lot of contacts. Amy gave me a list of contacts that we're going to go visit hopefully in March, get that knocked out. San Antonio, we're going to hopefully start working on that one hard in the next couple of weeks. Our main formula, please, I'm telling you all this to keep it in your mindset when we're going to these cities. Our formula is really to get our platinum ring together, which is a group of 10, prestigious, very influential people, in those areas. Their sole responsibility is to bring 4 companies to the table, just 4. If they each raise a minimum of $10,000, that's $100,000. That's more than we've raised at any event, which means we've raised $100,000. What do you think about 40 of that is going back after expenses? $40,000 to $50,000 back into Ragan's Hope. So if you can imagine what that's going to do for our families, and more families. So if y'all know any influential people in any other major cities, even the ones we're in, Tyler, Dallas, those type, we need, again, those platinum ring members and they don't have to attend one meeting. They don't have to do, all they have to do is meet with us and say, yeah, I've got 4 people, at least 4 people out of the 30 businesses I know who will buy a table, a VIP table, it's $2,000. It's nothing for a company to write a $2,000 check for the table. Or a superstar sponsorship. They get to escort the kid on a red carpet. They get a full VIP table. They get their names, logos everywhere, and that's only $3,000. So if you got 4 companies who will either do a VIP table or superstar sponsorship level at $3,000, it takes those type of people an hour to call us and go, I need you to do this. All right, $2,000, I'm in, because every other event's $5,000 and up for a table. So that is our MO, is to build those platinum rings. So again, if y'all know anybody in the, in any other cities who are influential, because that one person will open us up to the other 9 because they'll know those people. So please keep that in mind. Again, keep them in mind here. Let's see. Now I'm over the Tuesday. Oh yeah. We can launch fairly quickly in any city with those type of people. Host committees, volunteers for the event, they do all the planning. We do all the planning up here at corporate. Again, the platinum ring members, their time is most valuable to them. If they can pick up the phone and get more, their friends to jump on board with this, they're goal. And they get the most prestige out of the whole thing too, which is cool. So I'll always keep that in mind. Make sure y'all come out to the event this year. If you want to volunteer, we got a place for you. We'd rather use our Ragan's Hope volunteers because y'all are near and dear to us, and we know that y'all love Ragan's Hope more than anybody else that we can get to volunteer. Speaking of which, Kathy Ice has been very, very valuable to us. She does our programs and has done it on a volunteer basis, put in several hours. She shows up to the events and she's my right-hand bossy person. And keeps me corralled as well. So please give her a warning. Dude.
He runs the show.
I think he keeps her corralled. This carpet, our red carpet is 100 feet long and it's rolled up. It weighs a ton. And I'm going, all of our volunteers, because they're not Ragan's Hope volunteers, or nowhere to be seen. They're on whatever, if they're even at the venue at that point. Riley's over there going, pushing that red carpet, going, well, where do you need this? I'm going, slow down just a second. He's ready to roll it out, so he's been all set. I'm gonna go back to you again. Money, money, money. We have, obviously we can do a lot without it, just by your love and support of the families. But to, provide the backpacks, to provide the Thanksgiving dinners and pay utility bills, money's important. We've got travel, when we've got to go and set these other things up, we've got to travel. Not as superstars, as we grow, that's going to provide a huge source, but we also need as much coming in because, trust me, Delina can find families and ways to spend. So, as I mentioned, I was in real estate. I put it on the back burner, but now that I've got a lot more support, I realized that I had a huge network that was going untapped that could be a huge source for revenue for Ragan's Hope. So I'm developing, or I've started to develop a team of real estate agents underneath me. I created my own real estate team under JK & Associates Brokers. Any deal that comes through my team that I push out to other agents, I might, if I have the time, I'll handle the deal myself, but otherwise, I'll push it out to my other agents. They have agreed to donate 10% of the commissions back to Ragan's Hope, which is a lot. So be sure when you hear friends, family, whomever talking about, oh, I think we're going to start looking for another house, say, I got just the people for you to help you out. So make sure that you, and we'll start sending out monthly newsletters to you guys as well. It's not just about real estate market, it's also going to highlight our superstars and have inspiring things in it. It's going to be a great group. But one of our superstars, they call me to do their listing. That's a $7,500 commission on that deal, so $750. That does a lot for a lot of families. So $750 goes back there. So I think the average deal is probably close to $300,000 right now because it's a seller's market and they're getting the money for it. One of our agents, one of my team members, they do a $300,000 deal. That's $9,000 in commissions for them. About actually after fees and stuff, about $8,500. So $850. A pop going back. So just keep us in mind, and help there, let us know because it's trying to do everything. Yeah.
I know Delana has shared some tentative timing that you might share with the group, night of the superstar dates for all the markets you just.
Dallas Fort Worth is September 20th. We are headed down to Tyler this evening to figure that out. But it's going to be in September.
But that's a little, that's depending on the venue.
Right.
The 6th is tentative for Tyler, East Texas, and San Antonio and Nashville. Nashville will probably be in November when all the celebrities are back home and not traveling for Christmas. And San Antonio, that's all. We'll get our heads wrapped around that in the next 4 weeks or so. Thanks for putting up with my emotion.
I just passed out what we had presented to the board at the beginning of the year, just our proposed dates for things. I'm not going to go through that, but I do want you to take that, start putting some of those into your calendars, knowing that those are things that are coming up. You will note, I tell our team all the time, you'll note on the back, dates are subjects to change. Delina's suggestion, always use a pencil, okay? Because as we start putting things on the calendar, and like today, we're headed, Dan and myself and Greg are headed to Tyler as soon as we finish here to look at a venue and discuss with the host chair the plans for that. So when we put the dates down until we actually make the deposit of the venue, that date may change a little bit. But this will give you an idea of what all is going on throughout the year that we already know of. Other thing on your table is a sponsorship form for Night of Superstars. That is what is used when the individuals are going out and securing sponsors, and so that is for you. I encourage you to use that, make copies of that, get that to people you know. It's also something that you can do as a group. Get by a table as a group. It's always fun to have coworkers or family or a Bible study that you meet with or something just to come as a group. Okay, one more activity and then we're going to close it up. Stacey's going to go over now that we've talked about ourselves, a reflection of ourselves, we want you to think about how you can now be a reflection into the community. And so if you will take a strip from there, and then I'll let Stacy take it from here to wrap this activity up. Everyone just take one strip. Okay, y'all, this is called table talk, and we call it that way because you're to talk at your table amongst one another. So read off the list and think about how you can incorporate that as you're incorporating Ragan's Hope into your life, how you can incorporate the statement that is made on this slip of paper into your life with Ragan's Hope, how you can shine your light and be a reflection into your personal community, okay? Your personal community, work, kids' school activities, kids' sports activities, church, whatever the case may be. We all have so different, I mean, every single one here has their own community, so read off, y'all take turns, read off the slip of paper that you have. There may be enough for people to have a couple, but everybody just do at least one. And then think about what you can do to help them to shine the reflection about Ragan's Hope to them so that you can bring them back in. That make sense? Okay, good. Okay, go ahead. Talk amongst yourselves.
It's not only if you
Okay, Tom.
listing stuff, but yeah, they can help that as well.
Okay, we're not going to have every single one of you say it, but we just want one volunteer for each thing. So number one, if you think you're really, really good, or somebody from your tech was really good, you're going to be downtown this week. Who can answer that one? You're going to be downtown this week. Anybody? Anybody? That's a hard one. Okay, think outside the box there.
Sandwich work for the car.
Ready to.
Do you want to give an example? Well, I think of, Mariette and Linda both, are in the downtown area or they're going there. They're very good examples of, I've got an hour for lunch, I got, 45 minutes, what have you, I'm just going to stop by the hospital, run in, check on a couple of people, and leave. That's not reaching out. You're thinking that doesn't reach out to the community, but it does, because when you come back to the office, you're going to tell a coworker what you just did. I mean, you're going to be able to share with someone what you just did that may not have known about Ragan's Hope. So.
Also, if you wear your badge,
Right.
then as you walk through the hospital corridors or stop at the information desk, they're going to immediately see that, and that's going to be another.
Exactly. Okay, you meet the new graphic artist at work. Okay, Ben.
So, for my job, I make apps like for iPhone and Android and whatnot. So we were actually just sitting here discussing, you said you wanted people to send you photos, Dan, and we were talking about, oh, what if we just made an app for people to, just upload their photos to Ragan's Hope, and then we sort of expanded on it more and talked about the general Ragan's Hope app, with news for, maybe the prayer updates and stuff, or events, calendars, whatever. So I saw this and I was like, well, maybe I can get someone at work who we have graphic artists there and, general modelers and artists to kind of help out with that and maybe kind of put something together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We actually, there's a company called Roar
Okay.
that they develop apps. They actually awarded us free development.
Oh, really?
And so Byron has been working with them. And so I'd love for you guys to talk. 'Cause we're ready to launch it. We're ready to launch just the first
That's
cut
great.
of it, but we'd love to expand on that. So yeah.
So be sure to, speaking on that, be sure to watch out for the emails and the notifications. I'm sure we'll have it on Facebook and everything. And please download that app when we launch that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, let's definitely, let's certainly. Okay, you're spending time on Facebook.
Invite your friends to like Ragan.
There you go.
There you go.
Invite your friends to like it. Also share the things that we post. You can share that to your friends. Good.
Yeah.
You have plans with your family for Christmas.
Talk it up.
Talk it up. Anything else?
I was just telling them it's very important that you don't assume that your family knows exactly what Ragan's Hope is or what you're into or what you're up to. And I used the perfect example. I just lost a listing and a sell and a buy side with my own sister. They have a different agent. And when we were talking and I mentioned something about real estate, she goes, "You still have your license? All you've talked about over the past couple of years is Ragan's Hope and not a superstar. I didn't even know you're doing real estate anymore." So make sure that you don't assume that they know what you're doing and what Ragan's Hope is, because who wouldn't want to know?
Right.
And so you're not going to more. So yes, talk.
I know my family's always like, now what is this? Now what
The
is
other
this?
thing is, and I'll use our family as an example, but my family, we pretty much all of our kids are grown. All of our kids are grown. We've got some great nephews and nieces now, but for the most part, there's no little ones. And so as a family, at Christmas, we decided we would adopt one of the Ragan's Hope families. That did not come from me as an idea, believe it or not. I mean, it was because we had, our family knows. We talk about Ragan's Hope all the time. So one of them came to us and said, hey, instead of exchanging gifts, let's just buy for one of the families. So we adopted one of the families. They came to our Christmas celebration, had dinner with us. We let their kids open a couple of gifts and then, helped Santa with a few things and was able to get that to them. So, always just be thinking outside that way that, there are ways to talk with your family about what's going on within Ragan's Hope.
And that was a very intimate way for the family to connect with this
Yeah.
neat family at Christmas time.
Yeah, it's really neat. Now he's going to cry.
You know what else I just thought of?
The family got there, and I found out through the discourse of conversation that the kid is not going to be here.
So it's a great Christmas. It's a very good
Yeah,
Christmas.
it was
But it
great
was
to see the
rewarding for all of
child
us.
enjoying those
Right.
toys, and the mother see the enjoyment and the interconnect with the family that the child had.
Yeah.
And knowing that other people loved this little boy,
Right, yeah.
as maybe not as much as she did, but they were able to show their compassion and their love and their care. So.
Yeah, you know what else that made me think of? You know what I think is getting more popular? You talked about being able to talk to your family members or whatnot. I've seen and heard about different couples that when they get married, they say, in lieu of bringing a gift, please make whatever donation you can and it'll go towards XYZ. organization. And I think that's something, talking with your family and friends, may just spark.
Exactly.
You don't have to do that, Marionette. No pressure now, I brought it up. Pass it on back.
And on that note, I mean, I know that we've had people that, for birthday parties, and if there's ever gifts, please make a donation to Ragan's Hope, or housewarming parties or something like that,
So see that around.
Right,
Not just what.
So, okay, that's good. You visit the same merchant, dry cleaners, make et cetera, frequently. Did anybody have that one?
Yeah, we did that one. We talked about kind of just dovetailing off of what Jason was talking about in terms of, you never know by just simply asking a question to somebody, a place you go to, you know, if they're willing to make a donation, but it may start as something as simple as, what are your rules? Are we allowed to post something about an upcoming event? Can we leave, these up by your register or something like that?
Yeah, or the 5K flyers. I know that we had some participation with the 5K by being able to leave flyers out in that area. Also, I'm not sure that we mentioned this, we're spending about $3,000 a month on gift cards alone right now. So, if you're at, fast food, gasoline, anything like that, like I said, a lot of times they'll be willing to, throw a few our way, and that's a really, really great way to even serve families.
Station.
Okay, yes, sir.
Another thing you might want to think about is, because they love to talk about their community involvement. If you reach out and you ask them, hey, do your employees, y'all have like an employee volunteer program here? Do you like to get your volunteers? And all of a sudden they're going to want to tout, oh, I wonder if they are about it. And if they're not, they might go, no, but we really need to. So get them, talk to them. And then that's going to lead to future dollars.
Yeah.
Because then they'll start putting money in.
And a lot of places they'll want to do team building activities with their employees. And so, maybe it's, that we get together and Kristen gets with them to do a project, or maybe they want to buy a table for Night of Superstars. So it's just talking up those, talking up Ragan's Hope and Night of Superstars too.
Because that's getting to give them, that's offering them something of value for their business is to get there. And now you don't feel so uncomfortable because you're offering them something instead of asking.
Right. Yeah, offering for them an
Along with
opportunity
asking,
for their visibility.
Yeah.
So, okay, you have children that are in school.
I had that one.
Okay.
We talked about the community outreach,
Yeah.
the avenues of that. I just got sitting there thinking, I know that at least the McKinney School District does the Rachel's Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got sitting there thinking, what a better way to get the kids involved.
Yeah.
I was a bus driver, and I know that I drove a special needs route, and whenever I would pull up to the school, just the outreach from the regular ed students towards those kids, what a better way to get them involved in maybe doing cards or something like that for the families.
Perfect.
That's great.
Exactly what
That's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And I know for my daughter, she's in 5th grade. Her teacher reached out to me last year and asked if we would, this past semester, and asked if I would help with a service project. And so we went in and the kids all collected items for holiday goodie bags, holiday Christmas goodie bags. And so we were able to take 50 of those to Scottish Rite, to our partners. So there are a lot of opportunities for and the kids donated everything, and then we got together, we had an assembly day, and the kids just thought it was great. And for them to be able to see their accomplishment then, we had boxes of these bags, and they had a great time doing it. So service projects like that, and I love that.
Do school districts, do they do any type of newsletters? Anything that gets mailed out to the families, or are you allowed to put anything on their website, like a banner ad, or?
I think it just depends on the school.
Yeah.
School district, but we can check in with that. Okay, you attend a community social or a networking group.
I think we just leave that for you to talk about.
That
with all the
okay.
businesses.
You work for a company that is mission focused.
Right.
Shane?
Yeah, I only work for that company, but I'm also the COO. and my daughter's the CEO. So, yeah, of course it's part of our mission, and some of you don't know a whole lot about me, but it's all about the kids to me. being from the background I came from, which will come up in the future. But, you know, if it ain't for the kids and their families going through a lot of things that they go through, we wouldn't be here, you know. I found Ragan's Hope because I'm part of the Keller Chamber of Commerce, you know, and there was a fundraiser for Ragan's Hope, and I volunteered at that event, and that's how I met y'all. And I'm still here, I want to be a part of it. And some of you know my history and my background, and I'm not ashamed to say I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic for the past 12 years. But that's why I can live the life I live today and give back that way today. Just like the motorcycle club. This got nothing to do with my motorcycle club, but my motorcycle club is the only reason I can live the life I live today, because we're a clean and sober motorcycle club, and we give back to the kids and their families. You know, we do, and not to step on Ragan's Hope, because we help out the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. There's another family that was going to be here today. They lost a child, their brain tumor. Her name was Ragan. They do a walk at Texas Motor Speedway at the end of April. She wants to get involved, the whole family wants to get involved with this Ragan's Hope, because it helps the parents, it helps the family, and they've been a part of that, they've experienced it. So, you know, like I said, y'all don't know a whole lot about me, a lot of you don't, a lot of you do, but you'll know more about me, because you'll see a lot more of me, and my daughter Sarah. So, but that's what it's about, and then, you know, of course we attach to our website and our Facebook, and that's one of the ways we want to get it out there too, you know, as part of our mission. You know, my daughter, you know, I changed my name, company name last year. It was Titan, and I changed it to Big Soul this year, because when I was in Africa on a trip, they made me Big Soul because of a large heart, you know, and I said, what a time to change my name. You know, let's change the name at the beginning of the year. You know, CEO said, just do it, you want to do that. You know, so, yeah, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad, you know, I was able to bring her along, because I know we're fixing to have our first grandbaby here in a couple months, and, you know, that's another part of it too, is being here for that baby, you know, and showing her what I do and what it's about.
Good. Okay, does anybody have anything else that they would like to add? Anybody going once, going twice? And so, Jason's going to close us in prayer.
Thank y'all for coming today. It's been kind of inspiring and encouraging, as it always is. So let's keep doing what we're doing and look forward to what's going to happen next. Dear God, thank you for this time of visiting and fellowship and exchanging of ideas and looking where we've come from and the great ways that you've worked in us and through us and used us to help others, and how those folks are helping other people. It's really growing, and help us to continue to honor you. Thank you for our leadership, Dan and Delina, and all of our executive team, every volunteer, every kid, every family. I know that you're going to use us to grow individually and in our families and as a group to really show what really is your life through us to other people, and then reflect that as we receive it from other people. Thank you for this opportunity and this organization and the wonderful people that are here and that will be here in the weeks, months, and years to come. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.